Welcome to the Healthy Happy Human Show. This is one of a kind.
Hello everyone, welcome to a very exciting episode of the Healthy Happy Human Show.
The Healthy Happy Human Show is here to help you attain physical, emotional, and mental well-being.
Hello everyone, welcome to a very exciting episode of the Healthy Happy Human Show. We are very thrilled to have you today, and we have a very special guest that's coming on today. So we are going to be talking about HIV today. Very interesting topic. And we have in our midst a very special doctor. Let's have him introduce himself.
Okay, so good day everyone. My name is Dr. AYIBA. So I'll be discussing about HIV and everything that entails it, what kind of disease it is, transmission, as well as management.
Okay, so we are very excited to have you, Dr. AYIBA. Thank you for coming. So today, let's just go straight into what we are here for. Okay, when people hear the word HIV, what should come to mind? What should they be thinking of when they hear the word HIV?
Okay, so HIV, well, it's an acronym, so it means the Human Immunodeficiency Virus. So HIV is a viral infection. So for infection we have different types. We have the bacterial, we have the fungal, but HIV is a viral infection, and it's something that affects the immune system in the body. Hence the name immunodeficiency. So it attacks the immune system.
So it makes their system to be deficient.
Yes.
Their immune system becomes deficient. Wow,
basically.
very interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so what are some of the things that can put people at risk of contacting this disease or this virus, like you said?
Okay, so the risk factors for contracting HIV virus, you could contract HIV virus from sharing sharp objects, so anything that can pierce the skin. So let's say someone who is infected uses a razor blade, like cuts their skin with a razor blade, and then somebody else who is not infected uses that same razor blade. If they get a cut from such, they can contract the virus. It can also be gotten from sexual contact. So having sexual contact with somebody who is infected with the virus can put you at risk of contracting the virus, as well as we call it vertical transmission, so mother to child. So a pregnant mother, and she can also transmit the virus to the baby. So those are the basic methods of transmission of the virus. So whosoever falls into that category can say they are at risk of contracting the virus.
That's scary, but interesting at the same time to know. Okay, so very important. People who have casual sex can be at risk of having this infection. What are the symptoms? What's would you see, and then that okay, these are danger signs, I need to get see a doctor?
Okay, well HIV, it takes a lot of time to develop symptoms, but a lot of time what you would most likely see in a patient could be, they could be having fever, and this is not just your regular fever. It could be a very long-term fever. Somebody has been having fever for over a month. Somebody has been having diarrhea for over a month. You've been having unnecessary weight loss. You're eating, but you notice you're losing a lot of weight. You could also be having swelling around the body, around your neck, behind your ears and stuff. We call those the lymph nodes, so those could be swollen as well. Those are some of the common symptoms you can see. And remember, it's an immunodeficiency virus. So once your immune system is down, you would be prone to being infected with so many other diseases out there.
Okay, so what can people do now that we know that HIV is very deadly, it's a very serious stuff? What can people do to prevent it or from avoiding it from happening to them?
Okay, so preventing HIV infection, well, first of all, you want to look at those risk factors as well and try and eliminate them as much as possible. So you want to, you shouldn't share sharp objects with somebody else. All sharp objects should be for you and you alone, if possible, one-time use only. You want to avoid unprotected sexual intercourse, and when I mean unprotected, that means if you're not using barrier methods. So if you want to have sexual intercourse, you should use barrier methods. Okay, so barrier methods are your condoms. Okay, the pills will not stop you from getting HIV. You have to use a barrier method of protection.
That's very interesting.
You understand? You also want to do regular testing. You know, if you have multiple sexual partners, you also want to be on regular testing.
Okay,
you know.
Sorry to cut you. When you say regular testing, how frequent should people, test for HIV?
Okay, well, it depends. So if you're, a regular human being, let's say at least once a year or twice a year is okay for you to actually know your HIV status. Then if you're, somebody who falls into those risk factors, maybe you are a healthcare worker, you have multiple sexual partners, or maybe if you're
very
exposed
interesting.
to all of
Healthcare
that.
workers.
Yes, healthcare workers.
Like healthcare workers, doctors are usually at risk. So
Yes.
any word of advice, like what should they do? Like what do you have to say about that?
For doctors, we go through extensive training. We call them contact precautions, whereby you don't things that might put you at risk of contracting infections from maybe a patient. You always try and mitigate those risks. So like your sharp objects, you make sure you don't, once you use a sharp object, you don't even cap it, you just throw it away. Make sure you have your gloves on, you maintain at least some form of safety, some form of barriers between you and the patient. And that's so, as well as also regular testing too for healthcare workers.
Okay, very interesting. So management for HIV. Now, what do we do, or what should people do if they begin to feel like these symptoms, or like what should they do?
Well, if you feel like you've been exposed to HIV, the first thing you need to do is to go to a healthcare practitioner, meet a doctor, you discuss with a doctor. You also get tested for the disease, as well as other things that can also be there.
Tell us about the testing for HIV. One of the reasons why people don't usually get tested for HIV, maybe they think it's expensive, or it's something that is a very stressful process. They are going to prick them, take their blood. Is it very painful? You're a doctor, obviously. Like, what can you say about this whole process?
In terms of the pain, I don't think it's extremely painful. Maybe just slightly uncomfortable. You get. But in terms of the testing, it's actually free in government facilities. So you don't pay.
It's free of charge.
Free of charge.
No hidden charges.
No hidden charges. It's free of charge for everybody. You can go and get tested.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. How is there like any cure? Is there any treatment for HIV? What do you have to say about the treatment?
Yes, HIV can be managed, and contrary to belief, it's not a death sentence. You can have this virus and you will live a very long and comfortable life. Understand? So managing this disease now comes in various categories. So one of them is testing, and also there are also different testing you can do. They test for the virus itself. They check the levels of your immune system, the cells in the immune system, see how functional they are, see the amount they are. Then you can also start your medication. We'll place your medications as well. It's called the antiretroviral medications, or ARVs. So those medications, you take them every day, and it's a continuous thing. You don't stop. You keep on taking your medications every day. So those medications help to suppress the virus.
So are you saying that if someone comes down with HIV and the person takes their medication like judiciously, the person can live with this disease?
Yes, you will live a comfortable life with the virus, and you can get to a point where it becomes undetected in your bloodstream if you're very compliant with your medications. At this point, when it's undetected, it means you cannot actually transmit the virus to somebody else.
Wow.
Yes.
That's very interesting. In that case, if that is the case, so people should really get tested from time to time, and it's very important that we know our HIV status.
Oh yes, it's extremely important to know your status, because it's a pandemic, and it's one of the ways we have to. It's one of the things we have to do to at least mitigate this spread and try and put it in control.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the last questions I would like to ask before we wrap it up is, you yourself, Dr. you have tested your own self.
Me?
Yes.
Well, I'm a healthcare practitioner now, so we make sure we're always, in the clear.
Okay, that's very good. So that's leading by example. So a very interesting doctor here. said it, he himself has gotten tested for HIV. Very important. Don't think that there's no need for you to get tested. One also very important thing I would like to say is that there's this saying in pidgin English, HIV no dey show for face. Do you understand? So you can't take someone's word for it, right? Is it like, what do you have to say about that? People say HIV no dey show for face.
Like the what, like the word says, the sentence says HIV they show for face, so it's not written on the forehead.
Okay.
You know, the only way you can tell if someone is positive or not is if you get tested.
Okay.
It's not by what they say or whatever.
Yeah, very important. So if you have a partner, sexual partner, you need to get them tested. You can't take someone's word for it that, oh, I don't have HIV. For your own protection and safety and health, right? All right, thank you very much. Any advice to our listeners before we go?
Okay, so to our listeners, based on the topic we've discussed, we've discussed in so many things, and what's the major message I just want to leave with us is we have to take our health seriously. So in terms of HIV, it means we should know the risk factors and try and mitigate those risk factors. Regular testing and also management as well. So regular contact with your healthcare professionals, as well as testing and management. Basically, that's it.
Wow, that brings us to the end of this session. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you have any questions, do well to ask them in the comment section. And we are very happy to have you. Have a nice day. Thank you very much, Dr. AYIBA.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming.